Hey, it's Keith from Outlaw Speed Shop, and this week I'm tackling not one, but two Matchbox RS cars by Ford, rally cars that were sent to me by Mr. K7 William Robinson. He actually sent these to me quite a while ago, maybe even a year. They've been sitting here, and I apologize in advance for, as usual, my delay in getting to my commission bills. But as always, if you like what you see, make sure you subscribe and don't forget to ring the bell. So he had a couple parameters that he wanted. He wanted them white with the Outlaw logos on them and the number 613, which matches a build I did for him quite a while ago. And I couldn't just do them plain white, but he wanted one off-road and one more street worthy, which means I had some issues trying to find the right tires to work. Overall, these cars are in good shape. The windows are a little scratched, but nothing horrible. They got the Matchbox suspension with the spring steel in there, but the interior is in good shape because the car is sealed. The windows go all the way around. But overall, not too bad. I was pleasantly surprised that once I dug into them, and even more pleasantly surprised after I got rid of the paint. Overall, the casting lines for cars I think they made a ton of, these weren't too bad. There was some areas that needed some work, just like anything that you do. When you do this, you can't rush really any phase of this project when you're working on these cars, because you just, the minute you try to cut corners, it comes back and bites you in the ass in the end. So, and I know from experience because I've tried to cut a lot of corners in the past, and it never worked out. I get to a certain point, it's like, oh, I'm almost done. Screw it, I'm just going to do this, and then it ends up taking me 5 times longer because I skipped something or I forgot something. So, but once the paint's been stripped, I just go over with my wire wheel on my Dremel and just get rid of all the excess paint that was left over, plus any residue from the citrus strip that I used. Then once I've done that, I'll take the Scotch-Brite and scuff up the body a little bit more. Just gives it a nice even finish, and I find that it works really well for me anyways. Just so I have a good idea what I'm working with surface-wise, and if there's any leftover oxidation or residue or anything like that, it really just gets in the, I don't know, it just does a good job. I'm happy with it. And I've used the green and I've used the gray, and the burgundy, whatever coarseness that is, seems to be about the best. But everybody's results may vary. But hopefully, you guys give it a try at least, see what you think. But again, it's just part of my procedures that I do with every casting. It just helps me personally. The one thing that I found with using, excuse me, the wheels that I'm using for the street version was I didn't want to have to cut them and cut the axles. They were so very, very, very close. I just needed to skin just a little bit off the inside. So that's what I'm using. My cutoff wheel is kind of a grinding disc, and then I'm going to go back over it, excuse me, with a file. Sorry, my allergies are killing me. I don't know what's out there, ragweed or whatever, but anyways, stupidity. I'm kind of allergic to that. But the grinding it off worked out perfect, so I can get my custom wheels in there, which, again, I didn't want to have to cut the axle on my street version, because then it would have changed the height, and I would have had to just do more work, and it was really unnecessary. So that's kind of why I did what I did. I had to do it on the front as well. I just didn't show it. But it works out really well. I'm happy with the wheels that I picked. For the street version, they're a little wide, so that's got the nice street stance. And I was hemming and hawing about the off-road wheels. I didn't have anything that fit. They were either really big or kind of really dumb. And part of one of my birthday presents is Rogue Syndicate Parts had sent me some off-road wheels, and the timing was, impeccable. Literally the same day that I was kind of hemming and hawing about what I was going to do, they came in, and they are ideal for what I want to do. They're just the right size. They are perfect, and I couldn't have asked for anything better. So I got this painting thing I got from Blue Meanie TSI Customs to paint rims specifically. The axles fit right in there. So I painted, you guys are going to laugh, I painted both cars. I kind of swapped gray and white. The white is to me a white primer, and the gray is to me a gray primer. That's the entire paint scheme of the car. I'm clearing it, so there was no need. The primer itself, the color was perfect. I couldn't have asked for anything better. It's just subtle enough. I was completely satisfied with it. I loved it. So now I'm tackling the windshield. Really, just a little bit of sandpaper pretty much knocks it out of the park. I try to wet sand, and I'll usually step it up from. Depends how bad the windshield is, but usually I'll go 600, which is a little. It depends on how bad it is, but 600. Then I'll go 1200, 2000, 4000. 4,000 really doesn't do much, but it seems to work for me. But every windshield's slightly different. Some are really hard plastic, some are a little bit softer. So use your own discretion. Try a little spot, see what works for you. It's not hard to do. It just takes time and experience. And then actually, to get some of the bigger scratches out, because these were a little bit worse off than I thought, I'm actually using metal polish. Actually worked out really well. Just to get an even shine all the way across. And I'm still going to use the gauzy or pledge. I don't remember what I use on this one. I kind of switch back and forth, whatever happens to be readily available. And but this stuff works really good. You just got to be careful. These windows are easy to do because it's solid one piece. There's no pieces hanging over that you drill or your Dremel's going to catch and rip like the stalker that I did a couple of videos ago. Especially when you know you're going to do it. So just take your time, have fun with it. Again, this whole hobby is about relaxing. And if you're stressed out trying to do this, it defeats the purpose. So there's a lot of detail on this car. Surprisingly, it's a lot of little stuff. I'm trying to paint the headlights and the fog lights and the tail lights and the interior. I didn't want to just put this shit back together. I made him wait this long. I got to at least do a good job. And there's a lot of stuff you don't see even when the car's together, but I wanted to make sure that I did everything just to make sure I had it all. So I decided to go with the red motor. I did red seat inserts and all that stuff. But overall, guys, I want to thank each and every person that watches these and puts up with me talking the entire time. I know there's a lot of people out there doing this, a lot more than when I started, that's for sure. And a lot of good builders out there. So there's a lot of competition for your eyeballs and your ears. And I really do appreciate the vote of confidence when you guys watch a video, even if you hate it. The fact that you just watched it, and it just really makes me feel, I wouldn't say good because I'm not that type of person, but I feel gratified that people even just take the time to comment and watch. It's pretty amazing when you stop and think about it, about I'm working on die-cast cars. I mean, really, how great can that be? And the fact that it's just something so silly and everybody actually watches it and likes it. And it's just good. I don't say thank you enough. So I actually had made extra decals a year ago, back when I did the K7. So I still had them kicking around, so it worked out really well. I didn't have to reprint any decals or do anything like that. I just had to play around and find ones that fit. That took a little while. I had two sheets. One was clear and one was white, so I had to figure out which one was which because I needed the clear ones. But overall, if you guys are ever on the on YouTube, there's a community tab, and once in a while I don't post there as much as I should. But I actually put a thing up there about drag racing. I had bought, years ago, maybe 14 months ago, a little over a year. But anyways, I was going to do drag racing, and I built a bench, and that bench has been taken over by cars and projects and everything else. But I bought a timer from Japan and all this stuff. I never even opened that box. Never did anything with it for scale drag racing. And I made a poll, and overwhelmingly people were for it. I'm still on the fence. I still want to do it, but it's going to take me some time to set it up. So thank you to all those who participated. These are the parts that I have. Everything's ready to go together. I even clear coated. I painted the rims 2 different colors for the for one version, for the off-road version. I've got, because it's gray and white. I did the rear wheels as gray, the front wheels as white, and then I cleared them. That's the one that's going on right there. But overall, I put the 2K clear on it. This thing's looking really, 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 really good. And I'm really happy with the way it came out. And even though it took me a year to do it, I matte cleared, obviously, the interior and the bases just to get that all, so nothing would scratch off or anything like that. But I like the way it came out. A lot of tedious work, surprisingly, on the body. So, and I probably could have gone even further. There's just so many details on these that you don't pay attention to because of the way they paint them from the factory. So, but overall, I like them. I like the way this whole project came out. I hope William's happy. But anyways, this is pretty much what I started with. And I've got a little collection here of a couple videos, one of each car, and then some, I don't know, a ton of pictures. And hopefully you guys watch through to the end. And I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. And I will catch you on the next one.